What's up guys, Draco here. Time to talk about glue. It's glue. Thanks. But yeah, I think glue is really cool. The fact they just like stick stuff together. Yeah, that's above glue. But the fact you can stick stuff together so seamlessly without like sellotape, you can see the sellotape. I mean, this is my old phone case when I wanted to salvage it for a while. I now just don't use a phone case because I probably will get a new phone in like a year or so because my current one also hardly works. I'm like, would I really want to get a new phone case when I'm going to just get a new phone in like a year? So like, the phone case might not fit the other phone. Anyway. So yeah. I was just, I've had it broken for about like a year until I eventually gave up on it. So yeah. I just don't like throwing away stuff that still functions even though it looks pretty broken. Like, my shoe is like a lot of holes in it, but I can still walk in it, so I don't need to buy a new shoe. I also got complimented on my shoes once, so like, I'm still riding that high. I don't get many compliments, but you know, if something works, it's such a waste to throw it away, because it's like, oh no, it's a hole. It's like, it still functions. I can still walk just fine. Who cares if there's a hole in it? I've also been watching Gachiacta, or however you pronounce it, recently. Great show, and it's also more motivation to not throw stuff away. I wonder what if I was a giver, what would my like vital instrument be? Probably my shoes, to be honest. But like, I don't think there's anything I wouldn't be one, to be honest, because like I don't carry anything around with me that often. But one of the things that's like, oh, it's broken, but I still just don't want to get rid of it, is probably my shoes. Because like, I gave up my phone case at some point, and I'm gonna give up on this phone at some point. I don't know. Maybe there's Vaseline that I like carry around with me pretty much all the time, but I've used very rarely. Like, it's almost always within like 5 meters of me, probably. I mean, most of the time it's in my pocket, but I very rarely use it. But I'm just like, hey, maybe I will use it. Who knows? But yeah, there is a bunch of stuff like that. Because if it's not, like, a lot of things that like get thrown away just like, oh no, it's broken, it's like, you could just fix it. Like, things are very rarely like that. Obviously, if it's like electronics, and like, sure, that's pretty hard to fix, but like, if you get a hole in like a blanket or a shoe or something, you could just stitch it up or just deal with the hole. Like, there's ripped like stuff all over. Like I wear lots of clothes that have like holes in them and rips in them and stuff like that, and like, it still functions, it still covers me, it still keeps me warm. Who cares if there's a hole in like a shirt or like whatever? And like, a shirt is something that's like, the purpose is to cover. Like, if there's a hole in like a blanket, it's really not that deep. You can just like, you're still not gonna be really cold because of a single hole. Like, it's pretty chill. What was this video about? It was about glue. I'm actually fairly on topic, to be fair. This is about fixing stuff. So yeah, I do think, like, also, I would really like to learn how to stitch. I think that'd be really useful, just like patchwork jobs. Because I do think that dealing with a hole maybe isn't the best. Like, I know I'm saying like, oh, don't throw stuff out, but I'm also saying, yeah, don't throw stuff out, just patch it up if you can. I can't patch stuff up, so I just leave a hole there, but it's like, if I could just like go with the stitching, you're like, blah 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 blah, that'd be pretty cool. Look like I'm just shoveling food to my mouth. Anyway, but yeah, another thing with glue is like, it's really simple for just put it down and it sticks together. Like, sticking stuff together, obviously you could do stuff like welding, but you know, like, the fact that glue is so simple is pretty cool. Yeah. I've never been a very, like, DIY guy, creative guy. Well, I like origami and stuff, but I've never been that good at making big things. I've made, like, a cardboard bow-ish thing once, and a cardboard, like, sword, like AOT sword once. Because I think it's fun, I'm just not very... I just haven't put the time in. It's just like, I would pretty much only do it if I'm like... Because I also wouldn't want to do that stuff when, like, my parents are in, because, like, I don't want them to just see me, like, just cutting up cardboard for, like, ages and making a mess. Because, like, I'll clean it up, obviously, but it's a messy process, and, you know, when, like, people just see the end result, it's fine, but when you see the process, it's like, well, now it's just, you've made a mess, and then they don't think about, like, oh, I'm gonna clean it up, obviously. So, yeah. A lot of things have a messy process, but that's how we get stronger. That's why... There was a story about, like, a tree that tried to grow in space or something, and the rings in the middle were, like, perfect circles, because there was no wind or anything for it to brace against. That's why the rings in a tree are, like, instead of wheel. Because, like, it gets battered by the wind, battered by a bunch of stuff. So it has stuff to brace against, but because this tree had nothing to brace against, it just, like, fell over when it had too much weight, because it wasn't used to standing up against, like, difficulty. So yeah. Our battles make us stronger, or something inspirational. I'm not inspirational. I don't know why I try and make these quotes. But yeah, glue is really cool and very useful. I've never, like... I don't know, there's a lot of things where you just don't really think about it. Also, we don't really use glue very much, because a lot of the stuff is, you would, like, use screws in it. But it's kind of cool that glue is not very visible, which is what I started this video on. But, like, it's also very good for getting in cracks. Because, like, if you want to stick two things together that, like, on weird shape, you can't really just put a piece of sellotape across it. Like, I don't have a hot glue gun. If I use glue on something, I have to use this, which is kind of annoying, but, like, it is still useful. Having a glue gun would be probably more useful, but hey, I'm not a... whatever they're called. Like a DTist, but I'm not... I don't want to say engineer, because that's... I mean, I'm also not an engineer, but that's not what I'm going for. But I'm not, like, a creative. Anyway, I'm bad at English. This is kind of like, you know, that's what I do. I don't do English very well. I'm a classicist. Because that means I can just say random stuff, because no one really knows what's going on anyway. I'll be like, oh yeah, a Scarbulus, everyone's favourite gecko. And then people will be like, what the hell? I'll be like, oh, don't you know about Scarbulus, the guy that turned into a gecko because he annoyed Demeter? And then they'll be like, no, and I'm like, cool. I can't think of other mythical geckos. Oh wait, what's the, like, Australian indigenous one? Ipilja, I think it's called. There's a gecko that, like, ate grass and water, and then it spit it out, and then it made thunder. That's pretty cool. I might do another one on geckos. I like geckos. I've been told I give gecko vibes, and I don't really see it. But I also really like geckos, so I'm not going to complain. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I do kind of see it. Not, like, visually, but just, like, my general demeanour is kind of gecko-y, in my opinion. And I was told I give gecko vibes, so therefore other people's opinions. Anyway, this was hardly about glue. I keep looking that way because that's just where my glue is, by the way. Like, if you're wondering why I keep looking that direction, I'm like, is there something else for me to say about it? I don't have a glue stick. Slay. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. appreciate that your life is stuff that sticks together and that you can stick with other people and stick with stuff. Stick. And if your life's coming apart, just remember, your battles make you stronger. And you probably shouldn't just like glue yourself to them, though, because that's not the best idea. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. Bye!